You're listening to the Cryptid Creature Show. If you're a fan of the show, go and check out our new Patreon site. You'll get access to our private Discord server, exclusive merchandise, access to all live streams and Q&As, discounts on merch from the Cryptid Creature store, and get a chance to be a guest host during one of the show's recordings. Just go to patreon.com/Cryptid Creatures. Thank you for listening and supporting the show.
We walked up for maybe 10 minutes and we all kind of had that feeling like it was a dark kind of feeling that we were being watched by something, but we didn't know exactly what. We kind of brushed it off for just being paranoia. And one of my friends called Jaden said that he saw movement straight ahead, and we all didn't know what he was talking about at first. I think the best way to describe it looked very similar to Raptor for the Jurassic Park movies, with the tail and everything. It looked very similar to that. We saw it and it was like, we had this eye contact with it.
This is the Cryptid Creature Show. I am Brian, and with me, as always, is my co-host Todd. What's up, buddy?
Hello, Brian. Hello, listeners. How's everyone doing? How you doing, Brian?
I'm doing great, man. Just getting ready for another great episode.
We have an interesting one today. This guy saw something that we haven't had on the show before. It's kind of unique and kind of different. Something like a dinosaur creature.
And it's in the UK.
In the UK as well.
That should be interesting. That should be fun.
Yeah, we're going to bring Harlem on to talk about what him and his friends saw while driving in the UK. And it's going to be a different one for sure. So let's bring him on and see what he's got.
Right on. Let's get him.
Harlem, welcome to the show. Thanks for talking to us today.
Thanks for letting me join.
Yeah, happy to have you.
Where are we talking to you from today?
Well, I'm from UK, England, in a small village called Boltley Sands.
Okay.
Nice.
And you also have I Talk Cryptids YouTube channel. Tell us about that real quick before we get into your encounter.
I do. So, yeah, I run a channel called I Talk Cryptids on YouTube. I go on investigations. I'm into the whole paranormal, cryptozoology kind of roots. Ever since maybe I was at the age of 10, I watched a Bigfoot documentary, and it really got me into the whole kind of topic. And so when I had my encounter, it really kind of changed everything. It really inspired me to make the channel itself.
Awesome. And how long have you been doing the channel?
I've been doing the channel for about maybe a year or two.
Okay.
So not long.
Okay.
Nice. Is it doing good? Do you have a lot of?
It's done quite well. Yeah, I'm at 500 subscribers at the moment. I've had some boosts in the past couple of months, but yeah.
All right, good. We'll help you.
Yeah, people hear this and hopefully jump on and check it out.
Yeah.
Well, go ahead and tell us what happened, what you saw.
Yeah, so the encounter itself happened in December of 2019. It was me and a group of friends, and we were all in the kind of mood to build somewhat of a bushcraft shelter. And one of my friends called James said that he knew this perfect spot none of us have heard of before. And he said it was like way out of the way and like nobody like ever went there. And so obviously after hearing that, we all kind of agreed to go there. And so the next day we met back up. We went to our local shop. We got some snacks for the way there. And yeah, after maybe 20 minutes of him showing us the way, we went through like countryside paths and stuff. We eventually got there. And when we did get there, we were met with this barbed wire fence. And there was a tree and it said private property. At the time, we didn't really have any care for it being private property. We just kind of wanted to go in and explore, see if there's any area that we could build what we wanted to build. And so after hopping over safely, we walked up for maybe 10 minutes. And we all kind of had that feeling like it was a dark kind of forest when we were there. There was no leaves on the trees or anything. And we all kind of got a feeling that we were being watched by something, but we didn't know exactly what. We kind of brushed it off for just being paranoia for the actual area of the place. But we walked back carried on up for maybe 5 minutes more. I know there's a stream on our left, and I was taking a couple of photos because I was into seeing me at that time. And one of my friends called Jaden said that he saw movement straight ahead, and we all didn't know what he was talking about at first, but we looked straight ahead, and there was this. I think the best way to describe it, it looked very similar to, you know, the raptors from the Jurassic Park movies with the tail and everything. It looked very similar to that.
Mm-hmm. And we saw it, and it was like we had this eye contact with it for like maybe a couple of seconds until it didn't run away. It kind of just strolled to the left of us. I mean, it was like maybe, it was quite far away, maybe, I don't know, 5 trees ahead of us. And it kind of just walked back into this darkened area of the woods. We all saw it, and we were all scared. We were all really scared, and so we ran opposite way. We hopped over the fence. One of my friends ripped his clothing, his jeans, and we kind of just went back to my place. And nowadays, my friends don't believe what we saw in that kind of way. Like, they don't think it is what, you know, some kind of dinosaur, prehistoric cryptid or anything like that. They just take it for paranoia. It never actually happened. And I don't talk to my friends after that, no.
So you said this thing looked just like a raptor. Did it have the head of a dinosaur like raptor too?
It did. It had the whole kind of classic way to imagine, like the body, had the tail. We couldn't see like how perfectly. We couldn't see it perfectly, but you can make out pretty much what it looked like. Yeah, it had the head, the tail, most things you'd think of when you think of the raptors. Yeah.
Did it make any kind of sound when it saw you guys? I'm assuming it saw you guys.
Yeah, we had eye contact with it, but I wouldn't say there was a sound. No, the only sound we did hear was when it kind of walked away. You could hear the crunching of the leaves.
Okay.
How tall was it?
Tall, I'd say maybe, it was smaller than us, definitely smaller than us. I'd say maybe 4.5 foot, maybe.
And was this thing walking on 2 legs?
Yeah, it was walking on 2 legs with 2 front kind of claws. Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Couldn't have been like an iguana or something like that. I don't know if you guys have those over there. Couldn't have been just a typical Komodo dragon walking on its hind legs.
I don't think they have that kind of thing in England.
Maybe, no. No, we have like no predators whatsoever. I mean, the most we have is sheep, and that's about it, especially in the area that we're in. Unless it was some kind of hairless sheep, maybe, but I'm not too sure. There's no predators always, suspect, no.
Wow.
So what'd you guys do after?
Did you get back out there in the woods and see if you could find any signs of it? Or did you
no, we're all like,
I'm not going back there.
No, we're all mad scared. I went there once back by myself, but I didn't go inside there. I just looked outside. Like, I didn't go over the gate or anything. I was standing in front of the gate. And I was thinking, should I go inside to see anything? But I wasn't even with my friends. I was by myself. I was thinking, I could record. I could try, I don't know, get famous by trying to record whatever it was. But no, it was just too much. I just walked back.
Man, that's probably why the barbed wire fence was there.
Maybe, yeah.
To keep people out. Maybe somebody knows.
Maybe the person
what's
who owned
going on
it knew, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What part of the United Kingdom was this in?
This was in the county of Lancashire. It was just outside of a small village called Boltley Sands.
Okay.
Which is on the outskirts of Lancaster.
Okay. I'm just trying to look at it on a map here and see kind of where you guys were at, where you saw this.
I could send you a photo afterwards if you'd like.
Sure.
So I've got a couple of photos of it on Google Earth of the actual forest itself.
Yeah, we'd like to see that.
Yeah, we'd like to see that.
Definitely.
All right, cool. Yeah.
So what'd you guys do after this happened?
After this happened, like exactly after this happened, we just went back to mine. But after maybe a couple of months, I kind of just like, our friendship kind of faded away in a sense. like we weren't into any of the same stuff anymore, and we just kind of stopped talking as in a whole. Yeah, I still remember it, but they all kind of disagree with me. They don't think it was anything at all.
Do you think it was a dinosaur? What do you think it was?
Well, the obvious thing would be to say, a dinosaur. That's what it. From the description, from what I saw, I'd want to say dinosaur. Yeah, but there's all sorts of things it could be. I mean, I know some people, when they talk about reptilians and reptile-like cryptids, they immediately think aliens, or perhaps something extraterrestrial. But I'm not sure if it was flesh and blood, if it was a flesh and blood creature, or maybe it was interdimensional, and that's why it was there, but I'm not too sure, no.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people say, though. We've heard it, that, when a group of people see something, some type of cryptid, one or more will eventually down the road try and deny it and say, no, that wasn't what it was. No, it never happened. And it's just weird how people work like that.
100%, yeah. I mean, my friends, they've never really been into the same kind of stuff I was. I mean, they never really were into cryptozoology or anything like that. So I can understand where they're coming from. But,
right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think that the reason you guys' friendships kind of split apart was because of this incident and what you saw?
I feel like it most definitely played a part of it, I think. Because I think they kind of took me for being crazy, like a tinfoil hat person. but yeah, I think they all thought I was, crazy. And I was always a kind of quiet kid at school, and they were always loud about and stuff like that. So it definitely played a part of it, yeah.
Right. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, all you can do now is just prove it and, make them see how wrong they were.
Well, yeah, this isn't the first time we've heard of this. Yeah, we've heard of these things, and it's very interesting to me because I'm wondering if Jurassic Park is really happening. Do you think this thing was like an adolescent, or do you think it was full grown, or what?
I mean, I wouldn't be too sure. I'd hate to see it if it was an adolescent, full grown.
Right.
Because if it was going to be bigger, I think we might not even have got out of there alive. But maybe an adolescent, maybe full grown. I can't be too sure because I don't even know what it actually was itself. So you're never going to know how big it could get.
Did you say this was private property you guys were on, or was it
private property? Yeah.
Okay.
As much as I hate to say, yeah, it's private property.
Well, I mean, do you know, was it just like a single person who owned it, or was it owned by more of a conglomeration, or was it like a wildlife management kind of place, or what was it?
We don't know who owned it. We know nothing about who does own it. I mean, if I was going to think who could possibly, there is this really rich estate like close by to the woods as well. But I don't know who or what owns it now.
Interesting.
Sometimes you think about that. How cool would it be if they could bring dinosaurs back based on what they're finding in fossils and stuff like that? And maybe they can, maybe they are.
I don't think that's a good idea.
But yeah, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
Not at all, no.
At least not on a T-Rex or something like that, or even a raptor. If that's
There's literally like 6 movies out there telling you how bad of an idea that is.
Yeah. Maybe that's what they're trying to tell us. Don't go down that road, please.
Do not do it.
Yeah.
So you're over there in the UK.
Yeah.
We know you guys have a few cryptids over there. So have you studied any more? Have you looked into any more that's going on over there?
I've looked into loads. I mean, I last summer I went to, because I was fascinated by all the reports in Cannock Chase, which is supposed to be the biggest cryptid hotspot in the UK. And that's supposed to have all sorts of things from the UK Bigfoot, black-eyed children, ghosts, UFOs, pigmen, if you believe that kind of stuff. It's even supposed to have a creepypasta known as Slender Man, but I'm not sure how true that is.
Would that happen to be by any kind of military base or anything?
It is, yes. There's a very famous military base right next to it. And that's where a lot of the stories of these sightings come from. I mean, there's a German prisoner of war cemetery right next to a military base. which supposedly has a dogman that lurks in it at night.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
They even got him over there, Brian.
Dogmen are everywhere, man. I'm telling you.
They do, yeah.
Yeah, that military base, we always hear that. We always ask this question. Is it near a military base? And 90%
Most of them
of
are.
the time it is. Makes me wonder what these military bases are really doing. Are they trying to protect our country? Are they trying to play God and create things that don't normally exist? I don't know. It's hard to say.
100%, yeah.
Another big one is over there is Rendlesham.
Rendlesham, yeah, I've heard of that. I watched plenty of... It's supposed to be Roswell of England, isn't it? With what happened over there, yeah.
Yep, see that.
I'd hope to go down there sometime.
Ancient Aliens all the time, yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
No, there's all sorts of places in England though that have been known. I mean, yeah, like you said, Rendlesham. There's also Harwood Forest in the North Yorkshire Moors, which is said to have a lot of strange activity going on.
Nice. Do you think a lot of that could be tied to the pagan history of the UK?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. I mean, I've never really looked into the kind of history of paganism in the UK, so I wouldn't be too sure, to be honest.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
What other kind of cryptids have you heard about over there? Or have you done any kind of investigations on?
I've done a couple of investigations. I mean, there's a place close by to me which is supposed to be a large hotspot called the Forest of Bowland, which is supposed to have wild big cats, so, panthers that have either, they call them alien big cats or shadow cats, but they are most likely escaped or exotic animals that have been let go. There's also lots of Bigfoot, as you can imagine. I mean, over here we don't really call them Bigfoot. There's like two main names over here for them. There's woodwose. There's also wildmen.
Oh.
And obviously there's lots of paranormal stuff that goes on in the area. Because of all the old history of castles, medieval battles and stuff. But yeah, I'd say the main thing would be probably Bigfoot happenings, yeah.
Yeah, sometimes all that's hard to grasp, and I just tell myself, there's so many different kind of creatures on this earth already that we know about. Why couldn't there be way more? Why couldn't they all just be here? All kinds of different variations of things from, man to ape or, dinosaurs, what have you. I mean, at least we do know, we have proof that those were here walking around. So for them to be back, I guess, in a way isn't as weird, but yet it really kind of is strange. It's more believable for me to believe in Bigfoot than it would be to believe in dinosaurs back roaming around. But you have alligators, you have Komodo dragons.
We do, yeah.
So it's very possible.
And big lizards.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. I mean, you got are there caves or anything around where you're at?
There's plenty of caves. I mean, there's this area called the Lake District, it's mostly known for its scenery. But there's plenty of caves, caverns under all the mountains and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, hard telling what's down in those.
100%. Yeah. I mean, I've heard plenty of reports of giant spiders over there coming out of the caves. And there's also all around the world in places in Africa and stuff. There's all sorts of reports of people seeing like humanoid reptilians coming out of caves and stuff and feasting on people. But you never, like you said, you never really know what's going to be down there.
Right.
We've heard that a couple times of guys seeing things down in caves that were reptilian looking.
Yeah.
This makes you wonder, what's going on? Where is this coming from?
It does, yeah.
What other stories you got for us, Harlem? You got anything else?
I do, yeah. So when I did go visiting Cannock Chase, it was me and my dad, and we went out mostly looking for any strange happenings or anything. Because Cannock Chase last year, there was a bunch of creepy-looking dolls like pinned and like hung on trees and stuff. I remember a certain part of the forest close by to where we were. And the place itself is known for all sorts of satanic rituals and stuff. But when we went out there, maybe a couple of hours in, I heard this most blood-curdling scream I've ever heard. And my dad didn't hear it at first, but I was so shocked by it. I was like, I didn't want to say my words anymore, because I'd heard that people have heard screaming and stuff, and it really shook me up. And that, after that, that's when I started to hear a dog barking, and I was thinking, why are people walking their dogs at this time of night? I mean, it just doesn't make sense. And I came down to a conclusion that it wasn't a woman or anything screaming. In fact, I feel like I kind of debunked the whole screaming part of the woods itself. It was actually it's illegal there. Illegal fox poaching. So there's people just hunting foxes, pretty much with their dogs. And when you hear like a fox and like screaming, it sounds very much like a woman, like a lot of predators use. Mm-hmm. And so after that, I was kind of heartbroken it wasn't something supernatural. Because at first, I thought it was. But no. Now I feel like I've really debunked that kind of thing. No, yeah.
Well,
I mean, I guess
that's
point.
good in a way.
A lot of people probably do hear that and think it's something else. If you've ever heard coyotes scream at each other or scream, it's very weird. I didn't hear it until maybe a couple months ago. I saw it on TV and I was like, oh my gosh, I would have never thought they sound like that. But, you know, people are also hearing deep, guttural things too that can't be coming from, you know, small animals. When you were talking about that, I thought you were going to mention the banshee. Have you?
Oh yeah, the banshee. I've looked up a lot of stuff about banshee. There's all sorts of history and legend behind it. Didn't it come from Ireland? Isn't it like an Irish legend? I'm pretty sure.
Maybe
banshee is, yeah.
Yeah, and I've heard all sorts of stuff about it, like when a family member or something dies, apparently it's supposed to let out like a scream. I've heard all sorts about it, so I'm not really sure what is really part of the legend and what's just been added on over time.
Right. So what's your favorite cryptid then?
Favorite cryptid? Gosh, that's a hard one.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'd want to say something back at home, to be honest. I mean, I'd want to say the Mothman of Point Pleasant, because it's a very famous one. But if I was going to say the Mothman, I think I'd have to say the Owlman instead. Because the Owlman is basically the UK's equivalent of Mothman. It's been sighted down in Cornwall, yeah. It's described pretty much exactly the same, with just a different first name. Obviously being owl instead of moth, yeah.
Interesting. What do you know about
that one?
I know quite a lot about it. It was first sighted on top of this church roof, and apparently it's been sighted all around this church. So, is it something to do with the church? Maybe something satanic, or could it possibly be interdimensional, or is it related to the Mothman itself? Maybe it's the same being.
Well, maybe.
Sounds to me like it's the same thing. Do you think it could be just an overgrown owl flying around?
Yeah.
I mean, there's always a chance, obviously. I won't be too sure, though. I mean...
6 foot tall owl.
Yeah. I
mean... there's not particularly any large owls in the UK. There are some, but not particularly down in Cornwall itself, unless it's like a migrated one. But I'm not too sure of that one.
Yeah, I don't think it's an overgrown owl either. It's definitely some weird creature. What's your thoughts on the paranormal side of things? Do you believe in it? Do you think it's real? Do you think there's interdimensional stuff going on, or what?
I mean, I've been a big believer in paranormal for ages. I think there's all sorts to take from it. There's all sorts to also just have a proper good think about, because obviously when you think of paranormal, you think of stuff like ghosts, spirits, orbs, that kind of stuff. But then there is for stuff like interdimensional beings and stuff. And over there, you obviously have creatures like Bigfoot or Sasquatch, however you want to say it. And obviously, it's probable there because of the amount of woodlands, such as Alaska. But over here in the UK, when we do get reports of wild men, Bigfoots, the woodland over here isn't as big as it is over there, and so it's less probable that a flesh and blood creature was roaming around in England. So a lot of people do decide to go with the idea that Bigfoot or Sasquatch is interdimensional over here, and it is kind of slipping through portals or something similar to the idea. Yeah.
It makes you wonder, and people talk about they could be alien related, but I guess the thing with me is, if they were alien related, why would they look like they do? You know? And then why would we see juveniles, you know, youngsters roaming around, and why would we see them killing and eating things?
Well,
you know?
maybe they're on family vacation.
Yeah, it could be.
I don't know. You don't know.
We want to go vacation in the woods of Earth. Planet Earth. Take us there. We want to eat deer. No, I mean, I don't know.
Maybe they don't have deer in their planet.
Probably not.
Or their dimension.
It's just so weird to me. I don't know. I stopped trying to figure it out, I guess.
Yeah.
No.
And just hear people out at this point.
What are your opinion on kind of UFOs and aliens and such?
Ours? Our opinion?
Your opinion, yeah.
Oh, yeah, we absolutely believe. For sure.
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of activity over there, too, for UFOs.
We do, yeah. I think the thought with them, though, is do they come from space or do they come from underground? There's all sorts of reports of them, you know, people seeing them come out of the ocean. So what are they doing in the ocean? Is there a base underneath? Are they harvesting coral, water? Like we know barely anything about them, so we don't really know what they are doing on Earth. If they're experimenting on humans, or if there's a certain material here that they need to sustain their lifestyle.
I kind of believe that too. I believe they're from I think they live underground in the earth. I think they've been here. I think maybe they were the reason why they're here. And these other creatures are too.
100%.
Or they're the reason why we're here. I'm sorry. They're the reason why we're here, and other creatures too, possibly. From what we've heard from abductions and what people have heard them say to them, mind speak to them, and the different things, it just... And my point is this. If we've been seeing these things for hundreds of years, supposedly, or even 50 years, why haven't they... If they were going to harm us, why haven't they done it yet? And if not, why haven't they presented themselves to us? You know, what? It's not like they would have to be afraid of us. Obviously, their technology is way more advanced than ours is. They're flying around in these, who knows how they propel these things. I think it's magnetic, who knows. But why haven't they presented themselves to us and said, hey guys, here we are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they're just checking up on their experiment.
I mean,
if they interject themselves, then the experiment is over.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, there's been all sorts of types of aliens that have been seen. Obviously, probably well known being the grey aliens.
Right.
Little 4-foot little fellas. Also, there's been, like I was talking about before, reptilians. Also, these mantis-like beings. Like, what are they? Do they look like us, or do they just look completely different?
Yeah, it's hard to say.
That's a good question. I think there's obviously several different kinds, but I think there's some humanoid ones out there that look like us, for sure.
100%, yeah.
With what people are seeing, nothing surprises me anymore. If people said they saw a 5-headed cow walking on 3 legs and had the arms had wings and was flying, if enough people said they saw that, you'd kind of want to believe it.
Yeah, it doesn't surprises me anymore.
But yeah, I mean, the underground thing too with the aliens, I totally have thought that theory. They've talked about how they've potentially seen these structures underwater. That could be,
Well, there's parts of the ocean we still can't get to because it's so deep, like Challenger Deep.
It is the most undiscovered area. I mean, we talk about going and seeing Bigfoot and how much of the woods out here in the United States alone are just vast and have not been explored. Think about the ocean. Yeah. If something was going to hide or come and go, that's the perfect place to do it. We're not going to know anything.
True.
Definitely.
So that's just my thoughts on it.
And are there tunnels? Are there ways they can get, from one side of the earth to the other underwater without?
Maybe. I mean,
Protection?
100%. I mean, there's the Loch Ness Monster, which is seen in Scotland over here. But then there's also things like Champ and creatures that are described very similar. And so what if they are the same creature going through tunnels to different places around the world? Maybe that's when people use sonar on a lake. Maybe they're somewhere else, maybe. But who knows?
Because Nessie can't always stay in Loch Ness. I mean...
Oh, yeah.
So they got to be getting around somehow.
There's actually... They've shown there's a tunnel that you can get to the ocean from the loch that they think maybe this thing could come and go from.
Mm-hmm.
Possibly, yeah.
Hard to say. But yeah, who knows? Maybe we're just some big Sims game for these guys, whoever these guys are, and they're to say, well, let's put a couple Bigfoot here. Let's make this. Hey, look, I created this dog man. Let's put him down there and see what happens with this guy.
Let's see how these people react.
You know what? Let's bring dinosaurs back. Let's just go ahead and put them back down there. Let's see what happens. Let's just really screw with these people's heads.
Well, if that ever happens, then we know something's up.
They think they know everything. Let's really screw it up for them. I won't. It's a big mystery. Maybe someday we'll know.
Sure
Hopefully we will.
Hopefully, yeah.
We appreciate you taking the time. And what time is it over your way there? It's probably good.
It's currently 2:30, so it's still early afternoon for me.
Okay, all right.
Oh, nice.
So we didn't get you in a bad timing.
Yeah, we're
not at all, no.
Being across the ocean there. Well, thanks again. We appreciate it. And
well, you got plenty of time to get out there in the woods and look around some more.
I do, yeah. Might do that later on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, keep us posted on what's going on over there for sure.
Yep.
I will do, and I'll definitely send you the photo of the woods I saw the creature in as well after the show.
Yep. And,
good. Yeah, we want to see that.
Yep. For the listeners, if you want to check out Harlem's YouTube channel, it's I Talk Cryptids, and give it a look and see what you think.
Yeah, give them a follow. Help them out.
Thanks again, Harlem. You stay in touch with us and let us know what's going on over there, would you?
Sure will. Thanks for having me on.
All right. Thanks for being here.
No problem. Yeah, keep in touch.
Will do.
All right. We'll
see you later.
All right, Harlem. Have a good one.
Bye.
What do you think, man? Are dinosaurs back on the earth? What's your thoughts on that?
I think in this day and age, I think it's possible. I think anything is possible at this point.
If they were here before, why can't they be here now?
Yeah.
Or again.
Or still.
I mean, it's very possible with the technology that we seem to have today, that we're told that we have today, that if they could find some kind of matter that wasn't totally fossilized, that they could pull DNA out of, however that works. Yeah. I'm not a scientist. I don't know.
Yeah.
Could they recreate something?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they could.
But why the hell would they let it run
I'm almost
around?
positive they could. Look at they cloned the sheep, remember?
That's true.
I'm sure they can do... I'm sure they could bring a dinosaur back. In fact, they're getting ready to bring a woolly mammoth back to life.
Are they going to try that?
I think
How crazy is that? That would be totally awesome if they could do that. I don't know if it's possible.
That would be the beginning of the end.
I don't think you can. Can you create something like that without parents to nurture it and grow it? And
they're going to try.
Enough of our
enough rambling,
chattering about theorizing. Everyone, thanks for listening. Guests, thanks
we appreciate all of you.
Thanks for all of your past support and being here. Guests, thanks for being on and talking to us. We appreciate you guys as well. None of this would happen without any of you guys.
And if you have your own encounters and you'd like to be on the show, email us at info@cryptidcreatures.co.
Or you can check out our website at www.cryptidcreatures.net, where you can leave your encounter. Email us there. Check out extra episodes. Become a member.
Absolutely.
We have a store there as well. So check it out and see what you guys think. We appreciate it all. Brian,
yes, we do.
Another good episode, my friend. Good hanging out with you.
Always fun.
Until next time, I will see you later then.
Yep. See ya.